Beneath the shadow of Mount Fuji lies a forest so quiet that it became associated, but the real story is far more complicated than the legend. From above, Aokigahara looks peaceful. Enter the trees, however, and the outside world begins to disappear beneath an unusually dense canopy of ancient forest.
The secret begins beneath your feet. Much of this forest grew across hardened lava produced by Mount Fuji's ancient eruptions, creating a landscape unlike an ordinary woodland.
The volcanic ground formed caves, tunnels, cracks, and uneven terrain beneath the trees. Some passages remain cold and dark even when the forest above is warm. The porous volcanic rock also absorbs sound, making the forest feel strangely isolated. Even ordinary footsteps can seem distant once you're surrounded by trees. This place became known internationally as the Suicide Forest, a name connected to the many people who have died by suicide here over the decades. But behind every tragedy is a human story. The people who came here were not characters in a horror film. They were people facing circumstances that outsiders cannot fully see. Over time, the forest's reputation became intertwined with older Japanese beliefs about spirits, death, and places where suffering might linger. Japanese folklore speaks of yurei, restless spirits associated with the dead. But these stories are part of culture and folklore, not evidence that supernatural forces inhabit the forest. Novels, television, films, and international media then amplified the image, turning a real human tragedy into one of the world's most recognizable horror stories. Even the forest's unusual geology became part of the mythology. Volcanic rock can affect magnetic instruments, inspiring stories that travelers could easily become hopelessly lost. The real danger is much simpler. A dense forest, uneven volcanic terrain, and poor visibility can make navigation difficult, especially when visitors leave established trails. And despite its reputation, Aokigahara is not a dead or lifeless place. Birds, mammals, insects, and countless plants thrive beneath its dense canopy. Its lava caves reveal another side of the forest. Some contain striking formations created when ancient lava cooled, leaving tunnels beneath the trees. Today, Aokigahara is also a place for hiking, nature observation, and guided exploration, with established trails leading visitors through its unusual volcanic landscape. That creates a strange contrast. The same forest known around the world for death is also a living ecosystem filled with silence, wildlife, and extraordinary natural beauty. Perhaps the darkest part of the story is not a ghost or a curse. It is how easily human suffering can be transformed into a frightening legend. Aokigahara does not need supernatural forces to be mysterious. Its geology, silence, history, and human stories already make it extraordinary. So perhaps the question isn't whether Aokigahara is haunted, is why we became so fascinated with turning a real place of suffering into a symbol of fear. Aokigahara may be called a forest of death, but beneath the legend is something more human. A beautiful